Normally we perceive aliens to be white, and that's never sat very comfortably with me, frankly, when I know that it's not the case. This particular group are a black group. They're very benign, very friendly. I have encountered them, though I can't say that I'm anything like an expert on them, but I have encountered them. They are not reptilian. The questioner uses the word reptilian. I can understand that, because when you look at them, you would see the scales, you would see the whole shape, but the correct term is amphibian. They are a hybridized form of human and amphibian. They are black-skinned. They model themselves a little bit on human culture. That's because they have existed in the oceans of this planet. Between 5'8" and 5'10". Normally we perceive aliens.
An alien made out of black goo. I fought a
Buddha, ikitu ni mind blowing, ikitu ni nare.
So one thing like that,
that I heard, which, and remember, I was told at the time that if I disclosed this, that I would be killed, and I ended up putting it in the book anyway. The story was that this guy, they finally said, okay, we're going to bring you to the United Nations and share your message with the world. Let's get you on this flight. They bring him on this flight, and instead of bringing him to the United Nations, they shot him repeatedly, and then actually had some kind of meat grinder device, and basically like a bandsaw, I guess, and sawed up his body into a whole bunch of pieces, put him in these very like radioactive shielded containers, and then had all these fighter jets dock with the plane and fly his body parts to all corners of the world, where then these containers turned them into ash. And they thought that maybe this would defeat him, like that his body somehow, the tissue was necessary. So if they destroyed all the tissue in all these places across the world, maybe they could defeat him. Well, he then regenerated in their offices and was fully fine, fully intact. But the sad part is that he said, you guys so badly do not want me to be here that I am not going to be able to do any more. You're going to get what you want, but bear in mind that in the future, many others like me will be coming, and when they do, you will not be able to stop us.
Wow.
Uploading.
What's good, family? Right, let's take a look at this swarm. See what's going on for this swarm now, yeah? Let's analyze this.
Swarms. Commencing download.
Black goo is known as ferrofluid, and its properties are pretty amazing, almost alien in nature. A magnetic field is visually enhanced when the fluid comes into contact with a magnet. This is the end result. Science is fantastic. Black goo is known.
What are like like some of the craziest villains that you guys have fought?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I fought an alien made out of black goo once.
Oh no, what? $500,000 and you were only gonna pay me 30? You're getting 30.
With the snare and the bass, swear in the face, this fucking world better prepare to get laced because they're gonna taste my.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
So this might be the last Anthony Lafredo, aka the Black Alien update ever. Lots of people were surprised to see that Anthony's Instagram today is gone. I have no idea if his account has been banned or if he chose to deactivate his account. Lots of people went to Anthony's good friend Gato Moreno's Instagram page to see if there was any kind of update. Lots of people were asking what happened to Anthony. No update was given. Gato did post this picture today, so we know Anthony is okay at least. I'll keep an eye out to see what happened to his Instagram account. His Instagram is gone for good. That really is sad because it was a really entertaining Instagram.
This mysterious substance is simply known as black goo. It is mined from deep underground and in complete secrecy. This mysterious substance is simply known as black goo.
Esto no está suspendido, güey.
I didn't see the black goo. I didn't see it there every time I was outside. I didn't.
It's doing now. It's going through the bacteria. It's going through all the living life forms. It's exploring everything.
Is it in me?
It's in you and it's in everybody.
So it's coming out of here right now.
In a water supply.
It's in our taps. It's in our.
It's in the air as particulates.
Is it dangerous?
It's not dangerous unless you are hostile to it. It's in a learning stage and it's being conscious and it's communicated with people.
What's it communicating?
It's communicating that it's here to clean up our mess.
Wow. I feel like I'm going back down the rabbit hole, and the chilling endgame of my journey is black goo.
If we do not sort out our problem, it will. And that means complete deletion of everything on the planet, reset to zero, the Earth will start again.
Who knows about this? Like, which bits of government are aware that there's a sentient goo in our systems?
The black goo is the biggest single story that people want to know about. And there's very few people who really do know about it.
Black Alien is now.
So I have a huge Anthony.
If you watch movies, you see tall blondes with blue eyes, and the majority of them are various shades of dark skin, different heights, mixes of you'll see African American type mixtures with Polynesian kind that just slightly different than what you would see here. There's just something a little different about them, a different type of human. So as I've described, there are 22 of these genetic programs, and they're more than just genetic. The ET groups that are out there that are human-like are not Caucasian. They're not. If you watch movies, you see tall blondes with blue eyes, and the majority of them are various shades of dark skin, different heights, mixes of you'll see African American. If you watch movies,
do you know that? So we have confirmation. Okay, let's talk about. Okay, I got an Anthony.
I ran into.
Yeah, him mentioning his.
Wouldn't that be great if alien?
I have a.
It's beautiful. Okay. Prometheus, we have two. Look at you. Hey, baby. You're strong. Maybe you should help me now, okay? Get it off, man, okay? Cut it off, cut it off, cut it off.
Hey guys, what's happening? Niat here with Film Comics Explained, and today we'll be taking a look at chemical A03959X.91, more commonly referred to as the black liquid or black goo, which was first featured in Prometheus, a 2012 sci-fi thriller directed by Sir Ridley Scott. The black goo was essentially an extremely potent and virulent mutagenic pathogen composed of millions of microorganisms, which was manufactured by the engineers to serve as a biological weapon, though it would be more accurate to call it a catalyst for evolution. Used by the engineers to cleanse planets of life, once exposed to another organism, the virus would begin mutating its host by rewriting their DNA. In the film, as the pathogen began to leak from its containers, the liquid began mutating several of the worm-like slugs that were found in the engineer temple, prior to turning them into aggressive hemipedes. These stunning serpent-like creatures exhibited acidic blood, much like the xenomorphs, as well as having incredible strength and the ability to regenerate lost body parts. The physiological changes caused by the virus were so abrupt that most of the hosts would become exceedingly aggressive and seemingly mindless, attacking anything that was living within sight. This was clearly seen in the case of Fifield, the geologist, who was exposed to the pathogen during the expedition of the USCSS Prometheus, eventually mutating into a monstrous entity that began ruthlessly hunting his crew members, while also being extremely resilient to physical injury as the crew struggled to bring him down. Another person to come into contact with the engineer's virus was Charlie Holloway, who was deliberately infected by David out of both spite and a desire to move things along faster, as was requested of him by his master, Wayland. Initially appearing in his eye, the black liquid continued to infect and change Charlie's interior, making him ill relatively quickly. We didn't get to see the extent of Charlie's infection as he was burned alive by Vickers, who refused to let the infection come aboard her ship. However, he had already infected Shaw and impregnated her with a trilobite. This massive monster eventually took hold of an engineer and impregnated him, after which the engineer himself also gave birth to another creature called the Deacon, which had a similar basic structure to the xenomorphs that we all love. The speed and intensity of the mutation process depended on the amount of virus taken in by the host and the manner in which they are exposed. For example, Charlie's mutation happened at a much slower rate to Fifield's, as Charlie only ingested a tiny drop of the liquid in his drink, while the poor Fifield fell face first into the black goo back at the temple. At higher concentrations, the mutation would occur almost instantaneously, breaking the body down in a matter of seconds to create new life. Given these examples, I think it's evident that the chemicals-induced mutations were random, never allowing it to recreate the same effect. According to David, who spent nearly a decade extensively studying the pathogen and its effects, the virus was designed to infect non-botanical organic life. After years of practice, David was able to master the use of the substance to create the protomorphs seen in Alien Covenant as a precursor to the xenomorphs. We also get a marvelous display of its destructive power in Alien Covenant, when David released a large amount of the pathogen onto the engineers that lived on Planet 4, with the virus killing them outright instead of infecting them. When the pathogen infected a viable host, it would then gestate a hybridized parasitic life form, which killed the host upon emergence, as was evident with the neomorphs on Planet 4. I've already done a video covering the neomorphs, as well as heaps of other alien content, and will leave a link to that playlist below. I should also mention that in the incredible Fire and Stone comic book anthology, the black goo is also seen having phenomenal effects on an android named Eldon, which comes into contact with it, turning him into something incredible. If you'd like to know more about what happens to Eldon, don't forget to check out the Alien playlist. Well, that's all for today, folks. Thanks to all of you guys who requested we take a look at the black goo featured in Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Don't forget to hit subscribe and